Welcome to Talmudic Treasures. Today we're learning Yevamot page 72, which discusses the law of a person who has not had circumcision. That individual is not allowed to eat holy foods that are from sacrifices. Also, they're not allowed to eat food called truma in the event that they're a Kohen. Now, what happens if a person had Brit Milah, they were circumcised? Yes, then they are allowed to eat truma. The Talmud wonders when it comes to an individual who is literally mashuch. This is an unusual circumstance in which the person was circumcised, but the actual place of the milah was again covered up, whether it happened just somehow by growth over time, or that it was done deliberately so it looks like this person was uncircumcised. The problem is, we will allow this person to now eat truma? Technically, he is a circumcised person, and then since he did Brit Milah, he should be allowed to. But someone will see him, possibly, and they will then think, wait, looks like anyone could eat truma, because look at him, he's not circumcised. They're not going to know that, in fact, he is this mashuch. Now, an interesting opinion, Rabbi Huda says that we do not want this person who is in this current physical state to redo his circumcision. And he says, because I'm very concerned by doing that, it could cause this person a major permanent injury, and they'll end up being sterile. They're not going to be able to have children. On this, the Talmud says that's not a legitimate concern. This is not something to be worried about. And he brings historically, when it came to someone by the name of Bar Kochba, which is more commonly known as Bar Kochba, and the Bar Kochba revolt. This is during the time of the Second Temple, in which the Romans in the year 70 CE destroyed the Holy Temple. Now, at a certain point, one of the decrees that the Romans made is that people are not allowed to be circumcised. Well, that's a problem for anyone who's born during that decree. But it was also an issue anyone who was already circumcised. They actually did some type of procedure to make this person appear as though he was never circumcised. And one of the things that Bar Kochba was able to do when he was actually victorious, even though he was much smaller in number, and he actually ruled for 2.5 years until he was eventually overthrown by the Romans, is that he caused everyone to actually do a new circumcision. And it says that even though this was done, we find that no one had difficulty being able to have children afterwards. And therefore, this in fact is not an issue. But we see from here, historically, the amazing sacrifice that a person made when it came to the Bar Kochba revolt. It wasn't just that this man overtook the Romans for this small period of time, but he was also able to encourage many people to remain faithful and keep this very, very important mitzvah and make sure that no one would be able to say that this is the decree and that no Jew is able to be circumcised. Bar Kochba said no.